Hey guys, what you guys are about to see is just a little, I don't even want to call it a keynote, but just a talk that I gave to the 100 Black Men Mentees of Chicago. So I am a member of the 100 Black Men Chicago, for those who don't know. We spend every Saturday mentoring, and I was very elated for them to ask me to speak to the kids just about, you know, Black people eats and my story, my pain, my struggles. And I wanted to upload this just to encourage some of you guys. So I forgot the camera didn't allow me to record everything, so you will see some edited out clips. You will see some things that, you know, probably missed out. So, but I hope what I do share with you, you guys enjoy it and it helps you guys. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope you guys enjoy this clip. All right. Got it. So I'll just do like a little session, just talk a little bit about myself and my journey, my story and my business, and then I'll leave it open at the end for anybody, mentees or mentors, to ask questions, because I like to help people's questions as well, so I can help somebody walk away with some great information. But everybody, my name is Jeremy Joyce. I have a company called Black People Eats, and pretty much what we do is show you guys the best Black-owned food and beverage companies, Chicago and other cities in America. A little bit about me. I recently just graduated college about 4 or 5 years ago. I got a degree in finance and management. So food and marketing is not what I majored in, and none of that stuff. So pretty much how I got started, everybody, is how most businesses get started. I went to a grocery store named Eataly. It's in downtown Chicago. And I noticed, guys, it was no Black people there. And the Black people that was there, they really wasn't like Black. Like, you can tell they was Black, but they probably traded their Black card in. And I was noticing, I was like, you know what? People don't really record themselves eating like that. Not Black people. I said, I'm gonna try it. So, took out a phone, recorded me eating some weird stuff I never even had, but it was really good. And then when I came home that night, I said, I'm gonna find a free editing app on my phone. I edited the video, added like some little cheesy music to it. And when I posted it, I said, you know what? This video is not gonna get no more than maybe like 50, 100 views. And it got like 350. And I sent it to all of my friends. And I was like, this, and they was like, man, this is really good. So I was just messing around, and I'm gonna get into my why, which is pretty much what will help all of you start businesses. I started posting videos on my personal page, and I noticed none of these pages, none of these blogs would repost my content, and I always could never wonder why. I felt like it was good. You know how all of us do when we got something good and we like, man, why nobody recognize me? I know this is good. Like, I know I'm putting out great work, and that's how I was feeling. So I was feeling a little discouraged, honestly. So then I started to look at the pages, and I noticed it was only white people. Then after that, I was like, I noticed they only posted white restaurants. They only posted Black restaurants unless they was in like a white neighborhood. So after that, I was like, oh man, that sucks. So I met a young lady who was doing kind of what I wanted to do. She showed me what to do. Her name, she was another foodie. She showed me like how to do, what to do, how to take my fun and make it more focused. And I challenged myself. My mentor, Mr. Thomas, he's a member of the 100. He had told me to start a page, and I told him no. Y'all know how some of us, how mentors tell us stuff, and we be like, they don't know what they talking about or whatever. I do it my way because we young and we know everything. Because at the time I was 25 when I started this. I was 25, I think 25 or 26 when I started. So I thought I knew everything, honestly. And I started the company, so I challenged myself. Now I just want to share this with you guys because I lowballed myself. My goal was to get 100 followers in 1 year, and success was 10,000 months. Now, one of the reasons, and I know a lot of you all can attest to this, one of the reasons why I didn't want to get started, because I didn't have the camera. I didn't have this. I didn't have that. And I kept focusing on what I didn't have versus what I did have. And I'm going to just walk you through, guys, through my journey to show you what happened when you listen to mentorship, when you think about an idea, and when you execute. So I started my company in December 12th. Remember, I didn't want to start it because I didn't have a name. I didn't have this. I didn't have this. So I said, you know what? I'm going to start something. I'm going to call it Black People Eat Too. So by me looking at pages and notice they didn't promote Black people, I said, I'm going to create something where Black people can be showcased. My goal was, remember, 100 followers in a year. In 3 months, I was on Chicago Magazine. In 6 months, I was on WGN. And I have 1,000 followers at this point. In 8 months, I got 3,000 followers. In 10 months, I got 10,000. 12 months, I got 12,000. 2-year anniversary, which was this December, 36,000. Now, from this past December to now, I'm at like 47,000. I have a team of 5. None of them paid, all volunteer, and these are all professionals. Then I end up coming up with a website that has a database of Black restaurants around the world. Because what I realized is, if you got Rodney traveling to Atlanta with his wife, he want to know where to eat at, right? He wants to. It's not as big in Chicago, so I open up my mind. But I share all that to share, yo guys, that my story. The reason why I started this, because I saw an issue. My issue was, us as colors, us as Blacks, us as African Americans, we don't get promoted unless we are in certain neighborhoods. And that bothered me, right? And I'm just sharing with you guys, like, it's not easy when you talk about being an entrepreneur, especially in the digital media business, because I failed a lot. I wasn't perfect when I started. So I'm gonna leave you guys with these 3 things that helped me. So the first thing is consistency, emotional stability, and authenticity. So the first one I'm gonna start with is authenticity, because you kind of have to know who you are at the core. You like, everybody know, how y'all ever met somebody and you could tell like they fake, they not real, like something about them isn't off? That's the worst thing to do when you want to start a business, no matter what it is. The young man was mentioning earlier about starting the drum line. If you're not an authentic drum player, when you start in that drum line, people are going to be able to see right through that. And the worst thing you want to show somebody, is, I'm a fake. And some of the adults can attest to it. When you meet a grown man that's a fake, that's bad. It is bad, guys. Trust me. Like, last thing you want somebody to say was, oh, that's Jeremy, he a fake. Like, you don't want that. So authenticity is staying true to who you are. Never compromising your integrity for any dollars, for notoriety, for fame, none of that. So like me, for example, like my company, there's a lot of restaurants that I don't go to because I know that they don't stand up to the values that I have for me and my company. Because the last thing I want is somebody to come to my page and say he wasn't being his authentic self. So sometimes being authentic means you sometimes will get to your success slower, shorter. It might take longer than it normally could take if you would have just sold it in. Like, I give you an example. There was somebody who wanted me to do something and I felt it wasn't right, and I called somebody and I found out it was legal, but it was unethical. And because of that, I was like, man, well, I could have did this and got probably this page had 700,000 followers and they wanted me to do something. But something in me, I was like, this not right. And I was willing to tell them no. And they asked me to do something else, and I told them no again. And they ended up helping somebody else who started to do what I started to do. And I had to be willing to sacrifice my long coming to be more patient. It's kind of like saying you getting ready to run a race, but if you don't do this, we're going to put you at the beginning. Are you willing to sacrifice your morality, your integrity, just to win? And that's something I had to tell myself I wasn't. So I had to, pull back. So authenticity, staying true to who you are, never compromising, okay? Consistency. When you guys start something, new school, new class, Japanese language, drum major, new business, no matter what, you're gonna have somebody that's gonna tell you that sucks, that's stupid, bad idea, doesn't make sense, why don't you quit? Somebody told me that a week into my business, because I'm big on telling on myself on what I did wrong. A week into my business, I changed my name from Black People Eat. A lot of people don't know this. From Black People Eat to All People Eat. Because I let somebody convince me what happened if I want to eventually change it. And what made me wake back up and say I don't need to do that, a restaurant put me on their page and they tagged Black People Eats, and I said, crap. Well, if people click it, they're not gonna see who I am. And I was like, you know what? I'm never changing. I'm gonna stick the course. So you're gonna experience things, but never change. Be consistent with what you do. Like, people gonna tell you it's a bad idea. That's where the emotional stability comes in. People gonna say, hey, this suck. That's stupid. I don't see why you doing it. Being emotionally stable is saying you're grounded enough in your emotions where you won't let the opinions of others influence what you're doing. The only thing you should let dictate your decisions is your results. Your results and your values should dictate your decisions, not your emotions. That's what I had to learn. Because it's easy to say, oh, I should do this, but it's kind of, you got to kind of hone back in on, is this what's aligned with my values? And is this what's aligned with what I'm supposed to be doing? So that's the emotional stability, being grounded in your emotions to not allow the opinions and the of others influence you to get you off track. So example, you know you want to study a new language and you got a homie that's trying to tell you, hey, let's come out here and go rob this grocery store. Those opinions, if you're not stable enough and grounded, you can allow other people's opinions to get into you and take you off track. There was days when I had to give up hanging out, chilling with my girlfriend, chilling with my homies. There's days I had to sacrifice all of that because I couldn't allow their opinions to change what I was doing. Again, about that being laser focused, from fun to focus. And then my last thing that really helped me, guys, was consistency. No matter what we do, new class, new scholarship, any of those things, new mentorship program, consistency is so key, everybody. Consistency says you're willing to do things every day, even though you're not getting immediate results. Because especially like us, since we're millennials, we want stuff now. Like, you got instant grits that take 2 minutes, but then you got home cooked grits like how I know how to make, or my mom taught me how to make, it takes about 25-30 minutes. We don't understand the process of a slow cooker because we too busy stuck in the microwave. And what I want to tell you is be consistent and don't stop your consistency because you're getting immediate results. So when I started Black People Eats, I posted every day, twice a day for the first 6 months. Twice a day I posted. I had pictures getting 1 like. I had pictures getting 3 likes. I had pictures getting 5 likes. But I never quit because my goal was to say this. Your success should not be based on how many people like it. Your success should be based on 2 things. 1, I'm putting out the best work that I know I've done, which is excellence, not perfection. And then 2, I'm putting out something meaningful for the community to grab and emotionally connect to. And those 3 things, honestly, guys, help me. I learned, and it's a lot of stuff, honestly, you're not going to learn until you go your journey. I had to learn how to set up an invoice by doing this. I had to learn how to negotiate by doing this. I had to learn how to tell people no by doing this, because there are certain things you won't learn. So no matter what all you guys do, if you can be grounded in who you are emotionally, if you can be true to yourself at the core, your authenticity, and if you can be consistent in what you do and expecting to be patient and not get long-term results, let's change it up a bit. A lot of us say, you know, I want what Ronnie took in 20 years, I want in 2 months. Can it happen? It's a possibility. You get overnight successes. Most people, like for example, like my business, most people don't grow how I grew. But if you notice, 2 things I never talked about: how many followers I wanted and how much money I wanted. I focused on my craft. I know a lot of you guys just watched the Michael Jordan, The Last Dance. One thing he said in episode 4 about Nike, and I didn't notice it until I compared what he was doing to my brand, but not at that level. He said he focused on playing. By playing, the door of opportunity opened up for him to execute the Nike deal, for him to execute the Gatorade deal, execute the Big Mac deal, execute all those other deals, just because all he did was focus on his craft. Because you want people to know you for what you good at, for what you do. So all I focused on was going to a restaurant, showing you good food, showing you what it tastes like, and showing you where to go. And by that, somebody called me and said, hey, I wanted you to post my picture tomorrow, how much it costs. And I was like, oh, I can get money from this. I was like, dang. So then I understood, okay, well, if I have this many followers and I do these many posts and I times it by this, I can make this. But see, all that came from focusing on the craft, focusing on a product. If you're a drum major, don't focus on how your drums can get you money. Focus on how you can make people happy through your drumsticks, right? Trust me, guys. And what I'm telling you is easy, but it's hard work and it's patient. It may take you 5 years, 8 years, 10 years to be successful. The question you gotta ask yourself, are you willing to wait? Most of us wanna be successful because we either wanna show off, we wanna show people we got it, we maybe dealt with insecurities by being bullied. Maybe we never had the freshest shoes, so now we want to get it real quick so we can show people we got money now. Check your motives whatever you do. Don't do it to impress people. Don't do it to show off to people. Don't do it to get accolades. Do it to be meaningful. The last thing I tell you is this. Ask yourself, do you want to be significant or successful? Successful is individualism. Significance is others. Making an impact for others. Like when you think about the mentors and what they do every Saturday, that's being significant. They're sharing their wisdom, their expertise, their failures, their knowledge, their experiences all to you so you can be years ahead. And the wisdom for us as young people, as mentees, is to say, okay, my mentor is teaching me this. I'm going to apply this, but yet be patient enough to see the results and not get so elated in my results that I'm stuck and I'm being stagnant. You know, you want to be patient. Like all of us want to be a millionaire by 25. Some people, it can happen. You can create a wonderful idea, it can happen. But what if we change the game and said, I want to be a millionaire by 40?
Folks there as well. You know, one you just talked about, it's funny listening because you just mentioned about the chicken on the outside looking really good, but inside uncooked. Mm-hmm. You know, we have some sayings like that in my business as well. We talk about the watermelon, we report green numbers, but really they're red in the inside.
Oh, man, I'm telling you, man.
Absolutely. So, hey, two things here. So I have, well, actually, Rodney is gonna show a video as well of your, I guess, Black People Eat, and I don't know. I think I brought up Instagram over here, or maybe this will take care of that as well. So let's see, Rodney, go ahead. And I don't know if we're gonna be able to hear it. I think we've had problems. Let's see.
Yeah. So I actually just started my YouTube channel for another way to generate more income for the business. So this is my website, which is a database of every restaurant by city. We mainly did major cities that most Black African Americans travel to: Atlanta, Chicago, Houston, DC, Dallas, DMV area. And so we just started that channel. So like that turkey leg cut for a video, for example. And actually, guys, having a team is so important. This turkey leg cut video to the left, when I first did it, it was at 200 views. I added somebody else to my team to take care of YouTube. They took that video from 200 views to 3.3 thousand. Wow. And that's also, guys, the importance of collaboration and peer spawning. Just peer sharing information from your peers. You can't, one of us is not greater than all of us. There was members in 100 that told me to get my federal trademark and I wasn't thinking about it, and I got it. You can't be so isolated and secluded, you know, where you think you can do it by yourself, because trust me, man, you want a team. Every great person needs a team. If not, you'll be the bird trying to fly, but he can't because his backpack too heavy. You know, birds can only fly with the weight lifted off their wings, not weight on their wings. So your baggage can cause you not to take off to where God's calling you, all of you guys, to be, because you're too busy carrying the weight of others when you could have passed on to little people to people that causes you, not all of you guys can fly together.
Yep, that's true. There's no I in team. So, cool. All right, questions. Anyone have any questions?
Jeremy, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
It sounds like this is your passion now. But was it always?
No. As a matter of fact, I'll tell y'all this because they probably need to hear this. When I was in college, my goal was to be in finance, which I still have a job and I'm actually working on the exit strategy. I told myself when I graduate, I'm getting a job downtown. I'm going to have the leather shoes, the leather bag, the skinny suits, the watches. Acquired all of it, worked downtown, bought like 3-4 pair of Allen Edmonds, got 2-3-4 Coach bags, got all of that stuff. Start getting the girls, buying whatever I want, and on the inside, I was empty. See, a lot of people not gonna tell y'all that stuff. I was empty. I was going to work, hated it. Waking up every day, looking fresh, nice haircut, waves flicking. Deep down inside, miserable, hated it, hated my job. And I had even got more upset because I tried to get into another position, and I had the look, I had the charisma, I had the charm, and they told me I wasn't qualified for the job. And it bothered me. They told me I had great energy, great all of that. And I called Mr. Thomas, which is a member of the 100, which is my mentor, and I told him, and his words to me was, you're like that because you're not doing what you're supposed to do. And I was like, well, what am I supposed to be doing? You know how we get an attitude when they tell us something we don't want to hear? And after that, he was like, you need to be serving until you find out what you want to do. AKA, fill out the application for the 100. Start doing the 100. My first picture that I took for my business was a meeting after I left the 100 BMC Southside program with 3 mentors. The first picture I took, I didn't have no camera. I don't have no marketing degree, none of that. My passion really was just to get a good job downtown, look good, and have a good condo and get all the girls. And that stuff was empty. I'm telling you right now, if you doing something just for the money or just because it's what you want, if it's not meaningful, man, you will be empty on the inside. You'll be successful. You'll be that fried chicken. Look good on the outside, but on the inside, man, you tarnish. You break away easy, and you really just not feel connected. You're not happy.
So, Jeremy, you touch on to me a great point that we start to share with mentees in regards to chasing dollars, right? We're always kind of geared to we want to make the most money, chasing those dollars. But you touched on it. You're empty sometimes. And it really doesn't bring you happiness because the more you make, the more you end up spending looking for that happiness.
And yeah, it's like happiness, guys. What I've learned, happiness is all external. Like, oh, I just bought me my favorite water bottle. Oh, I just got me some AirPods. It's all external. But joy, and like me, I'm naturally like this. Joy is something on the inside of you that you can't shift. Like, I want all you guys to think about people that are happy or joyful during this COVID-19, and think about people who are not so joyful. A lot of that stuff has to do in here. Like, a lot of that stuff, honestly, and that comes from our upbringing, what we value, all of that. That happiness is external. Joy is internal. And what you want to see, honestly, guys, is joy. That's what I had. That's what I learned.
All right, Andre, you're on mute there.
Yes. Hey, Jeremy, outstanding presentation. I can
Thank
hear
you.
the energy through here. Even in your presentation, I want you kind of to impress upon the mentees the importance of having a plan written down. It's good to have a vision, but it's also great to put it on paper. Because sometimes you'll have a vision and not act upon it because it's not written down. And it's good to have the financial perspective as well as the objective goal of the plan written on a piece of paper, so that way you can stay focused and in tune on achieving those goals. Could you speak a little bit on that?
Yes, sir. So, guys, I'll just tell you like this. A vision without execution is just an amazing dream. And that's one thing I had to learn. So, when it comes to a plan, you're either going to do it 2 ways. I want you guys to think about what you want to do, write it all out, and take it to somebody that you know and say, hey, this is what I want to do. This is my idea. This is how I want to do it. Can you help me formulate a execution plan? Because a lot of times we have these great ideas, but we so stuck on thinking about doing it instead of doing it. So like that was my problem. I was like, ooh, I want to do this. I want to do this, but I need this. I need this. My mentor words to me was, just start. And I was like, what you mean just start? And I was like, just start. Like John Anderson said, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And you think about it, you write it down, then you move. A lot of us don't want to start because we scared to fail. And a lot of us don't talk about our failures enough, but we scared to fail. It's okay. Your first picture not going to be perfect. Your first article not going to be perfect. Your first drum show might not be perfect. You know, your first language when you teaching people might not be perfect. But the fact that you started is going to help us. Don't think about perfection, guys. Perfection is a fallacy. I want you guys to think about excellence. Excellence says, I'm going to just start, put it out, and then work incrementally to fine tune it. And that's what I had to do. Because I was thinking about the plan so much, I didn't even execute. So it's two things I want to say. Write down what you want to do. Think about this. Think about who you're going to help and where you're going. So where you're going and how you're going to get there. So where are we going? We're, let's say the drum guy. Let's say him, for example. I'll use an example. So your vision statement can be to be one of the best drum lines in the Chicagoland area. How we're going to do that? By showcasing South Suburban drummers through video, audio, and pictures. You see what I mean? You want to figure out what's your destination and then the steps you're going to take to get there. But then after you figure all that out, you want to start doing it. Because some of us can't get from the ideas to paper. Then some of us can get there, but then some of us can't take the paper to execution. And I struggle with that. Because I think about something so much, I just won't do it. I'll talk myself about doing it. So I just challenge all of you guys, man. When you got an idea, write it down. After you write it down, start doing it.
All right. Hey, I got a question for you, Jeremy. So you mentioned about failures, right? And it's true, right? We have to learn from our failures. Is there a failure that you can think about that was, I say, instrumental in moving you forward?
Yeah, hold on, let me think real quick. One of my biggest failures when it comes to the restaurant was not listening to my mentor soon enough. I'll say that. Because my mentor, so for example, with my website, my mentor told me my website should be a database where people can go in, find it by city. And I told him I didn't want that. Right? And he's like, okay. Mentor's not going to argue with you. They're going to let you do your thing because they know they're right. He said, okay. I spent about a year going back and forth with my website. And the design I chose was the design he told me to go back with in the first place. Because I started to think, why should I put the same content on my Instagram and my website? That's stupid. That don't make sense. My website should add a different type of value. Because if not, then why people going to come? And that's why I say, okay, I need to do a database of restaurants by city. I call him, and I'm not afraid to tell when I'm wrong. If you guys, somebody tell you something and it was right, call them back and tell them. I was like, hey, Mr. Thomas, you was right. You told me to do this, and I didn't do it. And guess what I got now? And I told him. So that was one of my biggest things. Because my website probably would have been done. It would have been done. So now I listen more. Listen more, talk less. And whatever they telling you, they're not telling you just to talk. They're telling you because they want to see you go further. And they're sharing their wisdom without you having to go through it. I had to learn the hard way. I had to go through it. I had to learn the hard way.
Okay. All right. Questions?
Sure. Hey, excellent presentation, man. Excellent motivation. I'm even motivated. But so one of the things that you mentioned was that a lot of people tell you it doesn't make sense, you can't do it. And then also at the same time, there is folks that you need to listen to. So can you, kind of speak to, I guess, that balance in terms of the lifting?
Okay.
And, if you will, taking everybody's, trying to have you all over the place.
Okay, and that is true, because I'll tell you this, guys, as you grow, everybody got a piece of advice for you. Everybody. I be out and somebody be like, hey, I think you should do this. So this is what I do. Out of respect, there will be people you encounter, there will be people that you encounter that, like, they're going to talk to you. And you just got to be respectful and listen. But how I determine so I have what I would call my wise man. I have, like, my mentor, my father, and then somebody in the industry. These are my core people. Like, if I'm looking to make a decision, I go to them. I don't really so then I have an executive team, a team of 3. Those are my people when it comes to my decision making in my team. Then I have my 3 like mentors, and my father. Those are the people that after I consulted them, I will think them if I'm not 100% sure. Now, there are gonna be people that I meet outside, everywhere, events. 100 Black Men. I meet people at events and they say, we think you should do this. What you gotta do, and this is just me, I believe in God, so I use my discernment. I can kind of tell when somebody is just trying to tell me something so they can get some credit. I can, like, pretty much now I can kind of tell when somebody trying to connect for the wrong reason. Because everybody got ideas once you start doing stuff. Everybody got ideas on how to make it further. I use discernment. I check their motives and I check their heart. There are certain people I'm listening regardless. There are certain people I have to be the pit bull, which is like the guard dog of my success, until I till I gauge why they're telling me, or is they telling me useful, or what's the purpose of them telling me. If you ever got somebody telling you something and they start off like, and that, I don't like this, and this is just no shade to nobody. I don't like when somebody come up to me like, well, I'm gonna give you some advice. This normally costs this, but this is gonna be free. Or I'm gonna give you a free consultation. I don't like when people say stuff like that to me. I'm all immediately turned off, because when you truly help somebody, you're not looking to do that. Like Mr. John Anderson, I remember his wife was telling me some stuff. She didn't come to me and say, well, I've been in business for this, and she literally just started adding value. When you immediately add value, like his wife did to me and was educating me on stuff, people add value to you with no strings attached. True value has no strings attached. If your value that somebody's offering, if there's something behind it and they're trying to give it to you, be very, very cautious. In the 48 Laws of Power, it talks about despise the free lunch. True value has no strings attached. So pay attention to people's motives, pay attention to people's values. That's how I weed out who I can listen to.
Thanks, man.